Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Today we will talk about how various schemes of the government are helping the people in the Northeast region attain financial independence and live with dignity, whether it be Ayushman Bharat scheme or aspirational district program. Since independence, the development of women has been the central focus in the development paradigm of the country. In recent times, the SHG movement has received a big momentum towards empowering women in terms of social, financial, and personal domains. Today, many women in India, mostly in rural areas, strongly believe in the movement. Mahima Mahila Dal is one of such group of women living in the interior part of tribal-dominated area of Kalaban at Garji in South Tripura. This women group not only succeeded in uplifting their socio-economic conditions, but also extending their responsibility towards downtrodden and helpless poor families. Our Agartala correspondent, Rhino has filed a report on this.
Mahima Mahila Dal, with the savings of 30 rupees per week by its every woman member, started a small farm in 2016 with 3-4 pigs and 1 cow in an integrated farming mode incorporating with paddy and vegetables cultivation. Within a short period of 4 or 5 years, this women group has extended their agricultural and allied activities and is providing good number of employment for many unemployed workers. Leader of this SHG, Sarathi Nautia, said that while they started with 3-4 pigs, now they have owned 5 number of piggery farms, having a total of 70 number of pigs. She said besides the cultivation of various items of seasonal and unseasonal crops and vegetables, they are producing good quantity of mushrooms. They also have started producing biofertilizer using cow dung and other waste products. Officials from Tripura Gramin Bank said the bank has provided support by which they have purchased a tractor, a Maruti van and a rubber seed producing machine. According to the banker, this SIG has become a sound economic venture. The Mahima Mahila Dal is also taking up noble tasks towards social responsibility. The group even bears medical expenses of a village girl who met with a burning accident. They sponsored a local boy to attend a state-level football meet. They rendered relief services to the storm-affected villagers of their locality at Garji. Now, the group has successfully become block-level trainer, rendering their training and sharing their expertise and experiences to newly formed groups. For Northeast Diary, this is Rina from Agartala.
The Civil Services Examination in India is a nationwide competitive examination conducted by the Union Public Service Commission for recruitment for various posts in the Indian Administrative Service. The UPSC Civil Examination 2020 results were declared on 24th of this month. 6 candidates from Manipur brought laurels to the state by clearing the prestigious examination. More from our Imphal correspondent.
A total of 761 candidates have cleared the CSE 2020 with engineering graduate Subham Kumar and Jagriti Awasti, bagging the first and second ranks respectively. 6 candidates from Manipur cleared the exam. Among them, Parikshit Thaugam secured the highest rank from the state at All India ranking 60. The remaining 5 are 180 rank holder Vaikom Naidia, 578 rank holder Haikruzam Prasanjit, 621 rank holder Kretimeum DP Chanu, 673 rank holder Haching Hoi Haukip and 757 rank holder Laurembam Nelson Mangangsha. The Manipur Chief Minister conveyed his congratulatory message to successful candidates. He also interacted with them through video conferencing. The state government announced the Super IAS 500, a scholarship program for deserving and talented IAS aspirants of Manipur on Tuesday. The scholarship worth rupees 2 crore 80 lakhs has been launched for face-to-face IAS coaching class under Chief Minister's Scholarship Scheme for Civil Services aspirants. Earlier, Sri Biren-led state government introduced the scheme in which financial assistance has been given to the selected aspirants to help in their study. The Super IAS 500 program would provide benefits to many civil service aspirants of Manipur as they need not to go outside the state to join coaching classes. IAS mentors from ALS of Delhi would conduct the coaching classes for aspirants in Imphal. The coaching classes would commence from the first week of November this year. This is JJ Thoksom from Imphal for AIR News, Northeast Diary.
Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, launched on 23rd September 2018, is a government-funded health insurance scheme for deprived households. Under this, 5 lakh rupees health insurance cover is provided per household per year for hospitalized treatment through a network of empaneled hospitals across the country. It has proven benefits for the people of the Nagaland. Till date, a total of 2.33 lakh eligible households are covered and 41% of the targeted households issued with e-cards.
Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. There are 98 empanel hospitals implementing the scheme, which includes 14 private hospitals, and 1,664 treatment procedures are available. Dr. Sautuni, consultant of State Health Agency ABPMJAY, said,
"Through this scheme, 821 hospitalizations were availed by beneficiaries from Nagaland in hospitals located outside the state."
Nagaland is also the first state to implement health benefits package of 2.1, which include organ transplants packages. Buildings and construction workers registered under the Department of Labor will soon join the scheme, and accordingly, 8,584 new families will be added in the list. Besides, integration with the National Food Security Act data is under process, whereby the other seeded ration cards will be linked to PMJY portal, easing the enrollment process and improve coverages in the state. In addition, the Nagaland State Rural Livelihood Mission will be partnering with the State Health Agency PMJY to spread awareness about the scheme through self-help groups and also enrollment and e-card generation through their block data operators. Under the Apke Dwar Ayushman initiative, the state targets to cover at least 70% of the household by March 2022. This is Asunyo from AIR News, Kohima for Northeast Diary.
Launched by the central government, the transformation of the Aspirational District Program aims to raise the living standards of people and ensure inclusive growth. Under this program, districts are encouraged to first catch up with the best district within a state and subsequently aspire to become one of the best in the country. In Sikkim, West District has made significant progress under the program.
Sikkim's West District is among the 117 districts chosen for the Aspirational District Program across the country. Additional District Magistrate Rohan Agwani highlights the work being done under the Aspirational District Program in West Sikkim.
Aspirational District Program is a flagship program of Government of India which aims to identify the most backward districts of India and to quickly and effectively transform these districts, and also to measure the progress and rank the districts so that you can compare your own progress with the other districts. So currently there are 117 districts listed under this program, and West Sikkim is one of those districts. The major focus areas in West Sikkim are health, agriculture, education and sports. The aim of the program is to create a spirit of competitive and cooperative federalism, for which the government has launched a portal called Champions of Change, in which all the districts are regularly updating their data on a real-time basis, and each district can view its own progress compared to the other districts, and it helps to create some form of a healthy competition among all the participants. Talking about the funding resources for this program in West Sikkim, there are 3 agencies which are providing funding. One is Niti Aayog, second is Northeast Council, and third is Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. So firstly, we'll talk about the initiatives taken in the field of education. We are focusing on the strengthening of government school libraries. There are several libraries set up, and books have also been provided. The shelves have been provided to keep those books in a proper state. The aim is to inculcate the habit of reading amongst the children right from the early age. Then we have also strengthened the science labs in several government schools. We have also provided smart class facility with Wi-Fi connection through WiMAX technologies in almost every school of West Sikkim. So the vision behind doing this is we want to create the facility of smart classes to tackle the issue of absenteeism. We have also done renovation of hostel and food facilities in some schools which were in dire need of these facilities. Furnitures like desks, benches have been provided in schools. We are also involved in capacity building of the teachers and also students. In the West Sikkim district, because the health facilities are not up to date, through this aspirational district program, we have invested heavily in the health sector. We have 10-bedded ICU. Then we also have TrueNet machines. In addition to that, we have arranged for the modern equipment which are extremely essential for well functioning of any hospital, such as multi-para monitor with capnography and arterial line, ventilators, AB machines, ECG machines, cardiac monitors, portable mobile endoscopy unit, multi-para cardiac monitor for pediatrics, CPAP machine, digital X-ray machine, USG machine. And we have also invested heavily during the period of COVID. We have also invested in the field of education and sports, and we see that there is a tremendous improvement in the living standards in the entire district.
The program has fulfilled many basic facilities in West District, the lack of which were forcing people to reach out to the capital, East Sikkim District or Siliguri in West Bengal, mainly in the area of health. The transformation of aspirational district program is also boosting agriculture and sports in several ways, helping the district catch up with its more developed counterparts under the overarching ideas of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. With Sankat Sarkar, this is Baidya Sharma for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Sikkim.
The country is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to commemorate the 75 years of Indian independence. On this occasion, we are remembering our heroes from all corners of the country who had taken part in the hardest struggle and sacrificed their lives for freedom from British rule. Here today, we will hear about an unpublished tale of an unsung hero of freedom struggle from Mizoram. He was Pu Darthoma Renthalai. Our correspondent from Aizawl reports.
Darthoma Renthalai was born on 15th May 1921 at Pukpui village in Lunglei district of Mizoram. During the days of Second World War, he joined the Indian Army in his 20s and worked as a nursing sepoy under Medical Corps. In August 1941, Darthoma, as part of the Indian Army, joined the war in Malaysia and fought against the Japanese Army. Along with the Indian troops, he fought in Kuala Lumpur and in the outskirts of Singapore against the Japanese Army. Referring to his autobiography, an official of the State Sainik Welfare Board said that in February of 1942, the Commander-in-Chief of Indian National Army, Subhash Chandra Bose, reached Tokyo from Germany and met the Indian soldiers. The meeting with Subhash Chandra Bose had steered all those Indian prisoners of war to join the INA. Pu Darthoma also joined the INA. While staying in Singapore for 3 years, he learned singing Jana Gana Mana and Hindi language. In this period, he as a cadre of INA fought against the British Army, but INA lost the battle against the British and Indian soldiers were taken to Calcutta via Chittagong for a court-martial by the British. The INA cadres, including Darthoma, were charged as rebels against the British government. In January 1946, Darthoma along with INA cadets were released from jail. Pu Darthoma returned to his hometown Lunglei in Mizoram, but there too he was banned from doing any outdoor activity. And within a few days of homecoming, he was again imprisoned by the CID till independence was declared. Pu Darthoma was acknowledged as freedom fighter of India long after India won the independence. The government of India awarded him the Tamrapatra on 15th August of 1973. He breathed his last on 21st July 2019 at his residence at Lunglei. For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
And now we bring you an interview with M.K. Yadav, Chief Wildlife Warden, Assam, on burning of nearly 2,500 rhino horns publicly. The interview is by our Guwahati correspondent, Manas Pratim Sharma.
Good evening. Welcome to this episode of Northeast Diary, Mr. Yadav. Let's discuss, why did government of Assam decide to burn nearly 2,500 rhino horns publicly recently at Bokakhat?
Government of Assam has been thinking about burning the rhino horns in the custody of various treasuries and the department for quite some time. Say 2010, it could not happen because some NGO filed a PIL and the court gave an order for public hearing, and that hearing could not take place. Then again 2016, there was an attempt to re-verify all the horns. That was a very good work done by that committee. So the 2016 report actually becomes our basis this time. And now when our Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma came to power, the first things that he decided in the middle of July that we must pose a challenge to the poachers and smugglers and bust the myth that rhino horn has any value or any medicinal value. And as a result, the government constituted a committee headed by me towards the end of July. And then we started the work from 3rd of August.
And this was perhaps the first time, across the globe where such huge number of rhino horns have been destroyed. How did you plan all these things?
Basically, rhino horns in small numbers have been burnt. I think the highest number is 450, that is in Kenya, and some 18, 20 or 30 or 100, about 300 rhino horns were burnt in Nepal. And if you look at how they are burnt, they typically use huge logs, tree trunks, and it is basically logs and firewood everywhere in small zoos. That is how it has been burnt. But here, the challenge was that the Honorable Chief Minister wanted two things. He wanted that all the horns must be burnt together in one go. And see, the rhino is a pride of the people of Assam. And probably we could not have destroyed these horns in the manner Nepal did, Kenya did, or some other zoos do. So every rhino horn must be paid respect. And also it is the sentiment of the people, and a lot of our forest staff, police personnel, and some of the people on the fringes of the parks, they have sacrificed their lives for protection of the rhino. So the whole thing was given a totally different dimension. First, we had to develop a protocol for verification because these horns won't be anymore with us. So we developed the protocol for verification and sampling. So there what we did, every horn that we had, its morphometry, means the horn measurements were taken manually as well as photographically. And then DNA samples were taken from every horn. So now I have DNA samples for almost 2,579 horns. That is amazing. We are now having a genetic material to do a lot of research work, and also the morphometry of the horns, which was never done before. So once having done that, and also you see during this process a lot of wastage came out. So each of those waste materials was burnt then and there, and everything was put in public domain so that people can watch what is happening inside. So this is how the protocol of verification and sampling was done, and the work started from 18th of August. We did this verification at Morigaon, Barpeta, Mangaldoy, Tejpur, Guwahati, Nagaon, Kohara, Golaghat. This work started from the 18th of August and concluded on the 13th of September. And it was a Herculean task. Almost everywhere, about a team of 100 people were involved in doing this process. So while this work was going on, I was concentrating at the same time on design of the strategy to burn the horns. I came up with a furnace idea of a 6 feet by 6 feet cauldron, raised 2 feet high, just to allow sufficient air to come, and a grill on top of it. And this basic cauldron made of iron, it weighed 700 kgs. Later on, it was further improved, and I got added 4 layers on top, one top of the other, using a zinc mesh so that no horn is falling out at any point of time. And then on each of these levels, so there was level 0, 1, 2, and 3. So at each of these levels, burners were used. We used almost about 90 to 100 meters of copper in each of these levels per furnace. So in all, 6 such furnaces were designed. This fabrication happened in Hojai, local fabrication, and thereafter each of these burners at 4 levels and into 6 furnaces, is 24 levels, was controlled uniquely and remotely at a distance of almost 50 to 60 feet. They're all remote controlled, and they all had remote ignition facility. And at the same time, you see, the idea was to give every horn enough oxygen to burn. And a lot of people are saying that we need to use pine wood, firewood, coal, charcoal, and even the ideas came that you must soak these horns into ethanol or kerosene and then just light it. So all those ideas were discarded because we have to pay respect to the animals and the people's sentiment. Every level was divided into 4 trays, 3 by 3. Which means that in all there were 96 trays numbered A to P in which the horns were kept, and in each of these plates, for sake of mark of respect, we had placed one small 2 to 3 inch small piece of sandalwood and bit of ghee and a bit of dhuna, the way we do in the Hindu practice. And the entire ritual was conducted in the Vedic manner. And that is how all the trays were touched like that. And then the staff was really trained. They did 3 days of training on the ground as the furnaces were being installed. Because, only they're all separately made. And they came and they were installed. Everything was meant to be destroyed except the base furnace, the base tray, which was below the furnace to collect the ash, the stand, and the main grill. The rest of it, all the 3 stories and the mesh and everything was meant, and all the triggers and everything was meant to get destroyed in the process. And we had a burning committee. They did an excellent job of this work. A lot of planning went into it. We did a lot of trials of these furnaces and burners, and measuring pressures all the time, temperatures all the time, and I tell you that we could achieve a temperature of almost 1000 to 1100 degrees in the furnace. And second thing is that everywhere else, when people are burning, supposing they were burning 100 kgs of rhino horn, and they were using maybe 1000 kgs of firewood, but in our case, we did not use any firewood or anything else. So as a result, what happened? We burned 105 kg of the horn, that number 2479, and ash that we collected in the end was 157 kg. Look at the burning efficiency of the whole system, and I don't think that anybody has achieved this kind of a feat in the world. I would say that Forest Department of Assam has set a standard for all the world in measurement, assessment of the rhino horns, and also in the burning, and all thanks to our Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Hemanta Biswa Sharma, who gave the freedom to design as to suit the occasion. So we did not have any such pressure that it has to be done this way or it has to be done that way.
So that was an excellent mixture of tradition and technology. Finally, what is your planning to do with the ashes?
We have now got a pretty sufficient and good quality ash. We plan to mix them with concrete and create one male, one female, and one baby rhino, because Honorable Chief Minister has already announced that there would be a Natural History Museum in Kaziranga. We would be proposing to host these rhinos, which would contain the ashes of 2,479 horns as a mark of respect to the rhinos, to the people who have sacrificed their life for protection of these rhinos. We may think of, putting some of the ashes in the Brahmaputra, in all the rhino-bearing areas and things like that.
Finally, in recent times, the number of rhino poaching cases have been reduced in Assam. So, what are the reasons?
See, the main reason for this is that, number one, the government has for the past 4 years invested into good quality arms, trained up, raised the rhino protection force. The coordination between district administration and police and forest has been all-time high. And there's continuously coordination meeting with the SPs and the directors of the parks and special DGP law and order. He personally looks after and monitors what kind of progress is going on. Intelligence is gathered almost at every level. Earlier, forest was fighting it alone with poor quality of arms. But now, at the same time, while the quality of arms has improved and coordination has been tremendous, and all this is because of our Honorable Chief Minister, who has been spearheading this coordination process.
Okay, Mr. Yadav, you gave us time, valuable inputs. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Three steps to stay protected and stay safe from COVID-19. Wear face mask, 2 gaz ki duri to maintain social distancing, maintain hand and face hygiene. And now let us endeavour to know more about the special places that are nestled in the cozy corners of India's northeast. Jamfai is a border town in Mizoram. It is located on the Indo-Myanmar border and is situated in a strategically important location. Let us hear more about this interesting place.
Today we will talk about the beautiful town of Mizoram Jamfai. As the whole state is a hill topography with serene beauty and lush green, Jamfai also presents similar undulating hills, sylvan forest and moderate climate. Yet, Jamfai town and its surroundings, situated at the vortex of the serene nature, have more varieties and attractions. Jamfai town is located 192 kilometers from the capital city of Aizawl at an elevation of 1,678 meters. This is presently a bustling commercial town at the Indo-Myanmar border. It offers plenty of tourist attractions. Besides its breathtaking beauty, Jamfai is a storehouse of ancient relics, national park, natural lakes, monuments and memorials of legends and caves. At the base of the town towards the Myanmar border is Jamfai Valley. Surrounded on all sides by undulating hills is a wide expanse of rice fields. From the city tower, the rice fields are a spectacular scene. Truly speaking, the valley of Jamfai town is known as the rice bowl of Mizoram. For the last few years, people living in this town have been growing a variety of fruit plants for commercial purposes that has given Jamfai a new identity too. Thousands of families presently earn a handsome income from the sustainable fruit plantations and selling of fruits. According to the officials of the State Horticulture Department, Jamfai is the first emerging as the fruit bowl of Mizoram. Well-tended vineyards, passion fruits and the recently introduced kiwi fruit plantations in the surrounding hill slopes provide a kaleidoscope of color and captivating scenes. As agriculture is a major economic activity of the people of Jamfai, it has given rich folklore and folk songs that are sung by the farmers during cropping and after harvest. The Mizo songs are so sweet and filled with natural flavor and beauty that they lure the listeners to pulsate with mystic fervor. Jamfai town is regarded as an offbeat tourist destination for its spectacular undulating terrain and serene landscapes. The Hardship Lake, named as Lake, situated at the backdrop of the majestic Myanmar hills, is awesome. It casts a spell upon the traveller with its glorious natural beauty. The lake is approximately 1 mile long and half a mile wide with a circumference of about 3 miles. As the mythical saying goes, the legendary lake is believed to have been the inevitable passage which spirits of the dead cross on the way to their future abode. Some believe that it was the final abode of the spirits. In the town, one good attraction is a Mizo Thlakungpui Mwalwich, a monument to commemorate Mizo poets, writers and composers. It was set up in 1986 at the southern edge of Khaobung village in Jamfai by the local people under the leadership of the Young Mizo Association to commemorate 2 laureate poets. There is a Mizo Poets Square archive and library within the compound where articles and belongings of the poets are preserved. Nearby Jamfai there lies Mount Langtang Wildlife Sanctuary, which is the second highest mountain with a height of 2,141 meters. Langtang Wildlife Sanctuary is rich in flora and fauna and is home to the endangered state bird Babu, Misasumes, pheasant, hornbills, pheasants, etc., and endangered mammals like the slow loris, leopard cat, siro, goral, Asiatic black bear, stump-tailed macaque, and capped langur. The city is carpeted by vibrant orchids that are kissed by a host of butterflies of varied colors and size. Its colorful tribal traditions, coupled with romantic ruins, ancient relics, memorials and monuments, make Jamfai a serene relief from the hustle and bustle of the city. This is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with Subhashis Chandra and Irene from AIR News, Aizawl.
With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.